Hi everybody, we're back today to answer some more questions about the ThermApparel and the UnderCool Cooling Vest. So today we're going to talk about how long the cooling packs last. So there are four main factors that will determine how long your cooling packs will last with our vest. I wrote them up on the board. I'm being a professor like today. So the first one and the most important one is what type of packs you have. We have two different versions of our cooling packs that will fit into the UnderCool Vest. They're the SlimCool, which is the original packs. You'll see they're really thin. And then the larger ExtendedCool Packs, which are a little bit thicker, but not much. And the original SlimCools will last you about, we say, an hour to 2 hours. And as we go through some of these other factors that are involved in the cooling time, you know, that number might go down a little bit, or it might go up actually. With the ExtendedCool, we say that it lasts about 2 to 3 hours, so it's about an extra hour of cooling. So the second most important factor that's going to determine how long the cooling lasts is what sort of activity you're doing, or just how hot you are generally. I know with COVID, a lot of people are like, well, have been checking their body temperature more, and they're like, I'm not 98.6, my body temperature is normally 97.5, or mine is 99, because there's a wide variation in actually what your core body temperature is. And actually now they say that the average body temperature of a Western person is around 97.5, I believe. So it's actually a little lower than what we think of 98.6. But that can change from hormones, it can change from how tall you are, all sorts of factors. And the other thing is what activities you're doing. So if you are, let's say, running, you're going to naturally have a higher body temperature because your muscles are working hard, they're consuming energy, and that's creating heat that then needs to get out of your body, right? And that's the whole point of wearing a cooling vest, to help to transfer that heat away from your core and out into the environment around it, in this case into the packs themselves. So if you're running a triathlon, for instance, with the SlimCool packs, it's not going to last a full hour, or it might just last that hour. Whereas if you are sitting in an air-conditioned room and wearing your UnderCool, it might last 3 hours, because these packs will actually be recharged from the environment as you're wearing it. Even though your body is melting them, if the room you're in is less than 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the room itself will actually help to recharge these packs at the same time that your body is melting them. So that goes to kind of that next category there of how hot is the environment, right? If you're running that triathlon, just to use the same example, or running a 5K and it's 70 degrees out or 80 degrees out, the SlimCool will last about an hour. But if it's a 100-degree day, it might last less. And this also takes into account, you also need to take into account the humidity of the environment. So in a humid environment, our bodies don't work as well at cooling themselves, because the sweat doesn't work as well as getting the heat out. The sweat just kind of sticks to you, and your clothes get all wet and sopped and crazy. So if you've ever been out west, it's a much more drier environment. You need to make sure you drink more water, because you are sweating still, but you don't feel wet, because the environment itself is evaporating all that sweat. And it actually is much easier for your body to deal with a hot, dry environment to cool itself than a hot, humid environment. The fourth factor is how you stored your packs or you transported your packs. So the two main ways that you can store your packs are in your freezer or your fridge. If you store them in the freezer, we say that you generally will get an extra 10 to 15 minutes of cooling time out of your packs than if you store them in the fridge. So that's a good thing. The downside of that can be if you put it on right out of the freezer, it's going to be really cold for that first 10 minutes. You'll get that like, ooh, a little cringe, like super ice cold feeling until it melts or gets cold or heats up a little bit, so it gets to 70 degrees. And the other thing is transporting your packs. So we have many customers that might not put it on right out of the freezer or fridge, and they might take it with them to the golf course or to the baseball game. And then they'll put it on when they get there, so that way they get that extra time out of their vest. If you're just kind of have it and it's sitting next to you in the car, that's it's gonna melt a little bit, right? But if you put it in a cooler bag, which shameless plug, we also sell a nice cooler bag that fits the 2 sets of vests on our website. If you put it in that and take it with you to the event or whatever, the vest will have that full charge when you get there and need to use it. So those are the main 4 factors that are involved in how long your cooling packs will last, and looking